Hare Krishna. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji Temple, Srimad Bhagavatam class on December 1st. Very, very auspicious day. The day when Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna and Ekadashi. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are starting 9th canto in chapter 19. Narayan namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jaya mudiryeta. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Nara Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtiprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavatam tamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental song, established as an irrevocable fact. So should we just read the translation first, Matthew? Verses 1 to 12.
Text 1 translation. Sukadev Goswami said, O Maharaj Parakasit, Yayati was very much attached to a woman. In due course of time, however, when disgusted with sexual enjoyment and its effects, he renounced this way of life and narrated the following story to his beloved wife.
Text 2 translation. My dear beloved wife, daughter of Shukracharya, in this world there was someone exactly like me. Please listen as I narrate the history of his life. By hearing about the life of such a householder, those who have retired from householder life always lament.
Yes, Madhavi.
While wandering in the forest, eating to satisfy his senses, a he-goat by chance approached a well in which he saw a she-goat standing helplessly, having fallen into it by the influence of results of fruitive activities.
After planning how to get the she-goat out of the well, the lusty he-goat dug up the earth on the well's edge with the point of his horns in such a way that she was able to come out very easily.
When the she-goat who had very nice hips got out of the well and saw the very handsome he-goat, she decided to accept him as her husband. When she did so, many other she-goats also desired him as their husband because he had a very beautiful bodily structure and nice mustache and beard and was expert in discharging semen and in the art of sexual intercourse. Therefore, just as a person haunted by a ghost exhibits battles the best of the he-goat, attracted by many she-goats, engaged in erotic activities and naturally forgot his real business of self-realization.
Seven.
When the she goat who had fallen into the well saw her beloved goat engaged in sexual affairs with another she goat, she could not tolerate the goat's activities.
Aggrieved by her husband's behavior with another, the she-goat thought that the he-goat was not actually her friend, but was hard-hearted and was her friend only for the time being. Therefore, because her husband was lusty, she left him and returned to her former maintainer.
9.
Being very sorry, the he-goat, who was subservient to his wife, followed the she-goat on the road and tried his best to flatter her, but he could not pacify her.
The she-goat went to the residence of a Brahmana who was the maintainer of another she-goat, and that Brahmana angrily cut off the he-goat's dangling testicles. But as the he-goats request, the Brahmana later rejoined them by the power of mystic yoga.
Eleven.
My dear wife, when the he-goat had got his testicles restored, he enjoyed the she-goat he had gotten from the well. But although he continued to enjoy for many, many years, even now he had not been fully satisfied.
Yeah, 12. We can. Should I read 12, Manu? After the shloka? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam 9.19.12. Tataham krapanaha subhro Bhagvatya Prema Yantritaha Atmanam Nabhijanami Mohitastya Mayaya. Anybody would like to read? Go ahead, Prema. Tathaham krapanaha subhro Bhavitya Prema Yantritaha Atmanam Nabhijanami Mohitastva Mayaya. Tathaham kripranah sobro Bhavatya Prema Yantritaha Atmanam Nabhijanami Mohitatasva Mayaya. Tataham kripana sobro Bhavatya Prema Yantrita Atmanam Nabhijanami Mohitastva Mayaya. Tathaham kripana sobro या प्रेम यंत्रिता आत्मानां नाभिजानामि मोहितात्वा मायया. Synonym. Tatha, exactly like the he god. Aham, I. Kripanaha, a miser with no sense of importance of life. Subru, oh my wife with beautiful eyebrows. Bhavatyaha, in your company. Prema vantritaha, as if tied in love, although it is actually lust. Atmanam, self-realization, what I am and what my duty is. Na abhijanami, I could not realize even until now. Mohitaha, being bewildered. Twa, yours. Maya, by the materially attractive feature. Translation. O my dear wife, with beautiful eyebrows, I am exactly like that he-goat, for I am so poor in intelligence that I am captivated by your beauty and have forgotten the real task of self-realization. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If one remains a victim of the so-called beauty of his wife, his family life is nothing but a dark well. Hitvatma patam graham adha kupam. Existence in such a dark well is certainly suicidal. If one wants relief from the miserable condition of material life, one must voluntarily give up his lusty relationship with his wife. Otherwise, there is no question of self-realization. Unless one is extremely advanced in spiritual consciousness, household life is nothing but a dark well in which one commits suicide. Prahlad Maharaj therefore recommended that in due time, at least after one's 50th year, one must give up the household life and go to the forest. Vanam gato yad dharim ashrayata. There one should seek shelter at the lotus feet of Hari. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadatim Swapadantikam Vanchatal Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Kaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This topic is hard for me even to discuss because I am still sitting in Grihastha Ashram and I don't know if I am in the path of societal type of activities or not, but I'm glad that I'm here in Kalachandji Dham to take shelter of all of your Vaishnavas here, senior people here, and very, very grateful to all of you to allow me to stay here in Kalachandji Dham. So I did a little bit of reading and wanted to bring what Srila Prabhupada has said. So it will be a lot of reading from my side today versus having any of the opinion here. because I am in the seat where I want to learn a lot here. So, lust and love is something that Srila Prabhupada described a lot in various verses in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, room conversations, morning walks. I just took one of the verses out of his several descriptions, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Verse 7, where Srila Prabhupada describes in his purport as follows. And I'll read the part of the purport. The ultimate result of devotional service is to develop genuine love for the Supreme Personality. Love is a word which is often used in relationship with men and women. And love is the only word that can be properly used to indicate the relationship between Lord Krishna and living entity. The living entities are mentioned as Prakriti in the Bhagavad Gita, and in Sanskrit, Prakriti is a feminine object. The Lord is always described as Param Purusha, in the supreme male the supreme male personality. Thus, the affection between the Lord and the living entities is something like that between the male and female. Therefore, the term love of Godhead is quite appropriate. Then I'm going to read, it's going to be a little bit longer. It is a conversation between His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Jai Gopal Prabhu, Makhan Lal Prabhu, Bhakti Jan Prabhu, and Srila Prabhupada. This is in January 1969. And the conversation is happening about the Bhagavad Gita 3.31 and 43. Jai Gopal. Are the people in this age lusty only in the modes of ignorance, or are they lusty in all three modes? Prabhupada. Anyone who is in the material world, he is lusty. Anyone in the material world he is lusty. Maybe difference of degree, that doesn't matter, but he is lusty. Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samod bhavaha. Bhagavad Gita 3.37. The blessed Lord said, it is the lust only, Arjun, which is born of the contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into the wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. Everyone is trying to lord it over the material nature. That is lust. The conversation continues. Srila Prabhupada says, now the ant is trying to lord it over the material nature in his own way, and the big politician, he's trying to lord it over the material nature in different way. Everybody's trying. So that is lording it over the material nature is the sign of lust. So you can take it for granted that anyone who is within this material world, he has got that contamination of lust, may be manifested in different degrees. But who has come to Krishna consciousness, he has no more lust because he wants to satisfy Krishna. He doesn't want to satisfy his senses. This is Krishna consciousness. His aim of life is how Krishna will be pleased. That is all. And the lust means how my senses will be satisfied. That is the difference. He further says, Srila Prabhupada, the process of satisfying is going on. In our conditioned life, we are trying to satisfy our senses, and in our Krishna conscious life, we are trying to satisfy, we are satisfying to please Krishna. That is the difference. So my work is not stopped, but the goal of life is change. That is liberation. He further continued to respond to those comments. We don't say that you kill your desires. No, you purify your desires to satisfy Krishna. That is all. Now your desire is to satisfy your senses. That is all. That this has to be purified. That you shall desire, but you shall desire to satisfy Krishna. That then your perfection is there. In one way, it is very simple and easy because I know how to satisfy my senses. I am doing it life after life. The same endeavor should be engaged for satisfying Krishna. That is all. The process has to be learned by me. I know it. Simply account has to be changed. That's all. So Krishna consciousness is very simple and very easy. Immediately you come to the spiritual platform or transcendental platform. This is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 4.172. In quotes, he says, therefore lust and love are quite different. Lust is like dense darkness, but love is like the bright sun. Lust and love, what is the difference between lust and love? In the material world, there is no love because everyone is directed by lust. The so-called love, a young boy is trying to love a young girl, or a young girl is trying to love a young boy. But the background is lust. There is no love. It is simply show of love. He further says, therefore, after satisfying lust, there is divorce, there is a separation. So in the material world, there is no possibility of love. It is all lust. Love is only possible when you love God. There is no lust. There is no question of sense gratification. Simply for love, Krishna is my lover. Krishna is my master. Krishna is my friend. He further says, just like Arjuna is loving Krishna as friend, so he is so great lover that in the beginning he hesitated to fight. How shall I kill my kinsman? But when he understood Krishna is my friend, desires, oh, never mind. There was no lust, simply love of Krishna. So lust and love, that means the same thing is there. Simply one has to change the account, that is all. Lusty people, they are working on the account of sense gratification. Lovers of Krishna is working for Krishna's satisfaction. He continued to answer further. The activities may appear superficially same, just like these boys in Krishna consciousness. People may say, what they are doing? They are also eating, they are also cooking and offering Krishna. They say it is Krishna conscious. What is the difference between this food stuff and the hotel food stuff? In this way, they may think. Then he says, oh, they are also typewriting. They are also using dictaphone and this tape recorder and all this material, but they do not know that everything is being used for Krishna. Therefore, there is far difference. There is no lust. So you can utilize everything if it is Krishna consciousness, not for the satisfaction of your lust, then your life is sublime. Then he says, we do not reject anything, but we accept anything. The only difference is that we do not accept anything for our sense gratification. We do not accept this tape recorder for the sense gratification, singing or dancing. We accept this tape recorder to record Krishna's glory, to record Krishna's topics. So this is the only difference. Then he quote from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255. Nibandhya Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. When one is not attached to anything but at the same time accept everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated about possessiveness. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is not as complete as his renunciation. Dovetail everything in Krishna consciousness and it is perfect. And dovetail anything with your lust or sense gratification. Apparently, it may be very good, nice things, but it is nonsense. It is lust. So somebody is using religion for the satisfaction of his senses. Somebody is using Bhagavad Gita for the satisfaction of his senses. We do not wish to discuss all this in detail, but actually there is no training how to use things in Krishna consciousness. That is being now introduced in this moment. Krishna consciousness, how to make everything perfect dovetail in Krishna consciousness. So is there any question? Makhanlal. In the living entities such as trees, which are very much limited in consciousness and ability to move also, are these? It mentioned in the purpose that they have been very lusty. This tends to show that they have been once before in human form and they have really fallen. But is it also the case that there are amongst the forms many souls that are on the process of evolution and going upwards in the same way? Prabhupada, yes. Just like you are stepping in some staircase, you go to the second floor or third floor, but some way or other you fall down again. So you have to cross again the steps. Do you follow? That does not mean because you cross the steps and want steps and went to the third floor, now you have fallen down. You have to cross again. He further says, so there is a regular evolutionary process from trees to worms, reptiles, from reptiles to birds, from bird to beast, varieties of beast, and from beast to human life. These are the stepping stones, evolutionary process. But even if you are human being, if you fall down to the category of trees, then you have to again go up step by step. You have to come to the form of worms and reptiles and then birds and then beast. Therefore, we should not miss this chance. This is intelligence. If I miss this chance, then I do not know where I am falling down again. So there is no teaching, there is no knowledge in the whole world. They are driven out just like animals. This education institution, universities, there is no department knowledge how the living entities are working, how they are being transmigrated, they are falling down. How they are? No. A very risky civilization. So people should try to understand this Krishna consciousness philosophy very seriously if they at all want their own good. I thought this was very relevant to Yayati's story, and we learned in chapter 18 how he begged his family members, his children, to give him youth so that he can enjoy the sense gratification. And what I understand that he enjoyed for more than 1,000 years, Prabhu, Mataji, 1,000 years, right? And after that enjoyment, he comes to the conclusion in this verse that we are reading. I'll go back to that. Oh, my dear wife with beautiful eyebrows, I am exactly like that he-goat, for I am so poor and in intelligence that I am captivated by your beauty and have forgotten the real task of self-realization. So it took him 1,000 years to come to the platform that the purpose of life is self-realization. So you're very grateful to Srila Prabhupada and the movement and Tamal Krishna Maharaj and so many very, very dear Vaishnavas who gave us this platform that we don't need to wait for 1,000 years anymore. We can just get to that platform instantly in one life and just serve Guru and Gauranga very happily in Kalachandji Dham. In this context, in the previous verses in the purport, it is also described that one must go to Vanaprastha. And the description is that as soon as one completes 50 years, go to Vanaprastha so that we can do sannyasa ashram properly. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I am more than 50. I'm 56 now. And I'm sitting here. How do I reconcile that? What do I do? Not only that, I'm building the house, which is creating more, I guess, sense gratification, attachment. What do I do? I'm still working. So I listened more and understood that absolutely, one must go to Vanaprasthashram, and best Vanaprasth, one is Vrindavan. That is why one must reside in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada left for Vrindavan and spent several decades there. But then out of his mercy, he established Vrindavan all over the place, in every country, every town on this planet. Starting from Mayapur. There is no difference in Mayapur and Vrindavan. That's what I heard in his lectures. And then he established Kalachandji Dham. Of course, I might be using that as my excuse so that I don't have to leave, but that is also true, that he established these dhams so that preaching can go on, so that we all, especially people like me, get mercy of so many amazing Vaishnavas. So many Vaishnavas took such a pain to establish these dhams. His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj spent so much time preparing this dham for decades to come, so that we all, in the comfort of the material world, still be part of this Kalachandji Dham and understand that this is how do you live in the mood of Vanaprastha in this Dham, and then eventually move to the sannyas ashram under the guidance of the devotees. But only with one goal, which is spreading the Krishna consciousness. So what I have understood from this, that, like a yati who get the realization after 1,000 years of enjoyment, that was really the waste of his life. Now go to self-realization. We who are sitting in this elevator of Bhakti Yoga with the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, how I leverage that not only to enhance my consciousness, but also to serve in the mood how Srila Prabhupada wants us to serve, is to take this knowledge and spread it as much as we can. Take a little bit out of the comfort zone, slowly, one day at a time, and really take it and share this knowledge and connect them with the Guru Parampara. Since I have the opportunity of work in the corporate world, and also get an opportunity to see quite a lot what is happening outside, both in schools, colleges, and corporate world. I bring this topic every time because that is what I see. What is described in this verse and all the text that we just read in the Yati story, it is now multiplied many, many more times. It is so bad. And in this case, it is the conversation between only wife and husband. But in the world outside, it is so bad that there is no limitation of husband-wife either. It is just crossed that limitation. And there is absolutely no boundaries. Nobody knows, and everybody thinks that this is how we have to live. You might remember recently, a few months back, there was this amazing big news that happened. There's a CEO of very, very big artificial intelligence company was watching this game, I don't know, football game or basketball game, with the head of HR. And both were married separately. And then they have this, in these games, they have the spotlight, they just catch people. And they happen to be spotlight on them. And they were in very, very inappropriate situation sitting there, and suddenly they were on national TV and across whole of America. It became a big news. It destroyed not only two families, many families and the companies. But that is exactly what is happening out there, every day, everywhere, every place. And it is becoming kind of, if you're not, even in universities and colleges, when you get to see what is happening, sometimes it can be heartbreaking. Oh my God, do I want to send my children to this place? But it is what is happening. Students have no clue. And they have to have, relationship with multiple partners. Otherwise, they are considered useless. And it starts literally from year one of college. And then alcohol is a big part of it. And some kind of intoxication, that there are clubs. If you don't do it, you're not part of the cool people in the universities. The influence is very, very heavy. So Rasaj Prabhu runs this Krishna lunch in UTD, and a lot of our student devotees run mantra lounge there. This is the ray of hope that we take from our SCON temples to these places with the help of devotees to really transform the heart of people. So I'll pause here. It is 8:20. It is more for, from reading we can understand, and at least I took the message that, we have to take and constantly be under the shelter of devotees. Even if we cannot get along with them very well. We must stay there. The world outside is really, really nasty. Unless we have capability to transform, we should go there also with devotees. We should distribute books with devotees. We should be in those places with somebody else so that we can transform and really do the preaching. I'll pause here. I don't have anything else to add, so I would love to hear from so many senior Vaishnavas sitting here.
Thank you so much for your class. It was very nice, Prem Chandra. Question is about the analogy of the he-goat and the she-goat. He was instructing his wife by using an allegory. Do you think that she actually became convinced from that allegory? Did she actually understand everything? Is it written later on that she also renounced?
I did not know. I read till 13th, honestly. But what I understand that she's the daughter of Shukracharya.
Okay.
Right? And so she's very elevated herself.
Okay.
And she did go back to Shukracharya complaining in this process, right? What happened, and he's going to another goat, etc., etc. So this is a story of these two where he's telling, and in that process, Shukracharya actually cursed him. That is the story that is going on.
Right.
So I am very sure that one is there mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Second is, very elevated personalities mentioned here. That they all followed the footsteps, because Yajati was trying to tell that this is time to go and follow the Krishna consciousness.
Exactly.
And so I'm sure after that they did follow, and she also followed. But anybody else? Gokulanand Prabhu? Okay.
She got liberated. Gokulananda said.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, another thing about the corporate world is prasadam, and it's really helpful to distribute prasadam if you can. And it doesn't have to be a hardcore preaching like kirtan and class. You can actually just serve prasadam, and the people get purified a lot from that. I had the chance to do that at American Airlines. It was really nice.
We will take your cookies to my office too.
we served 350 people, and Kalachanji's catered.
Amazing.
And it was really good.
Yes.
So that's one thing we can do in the corporate world, is that we can see ourselves as people to help with that and to give people Krishna consciousness through prasadam.
Thank you very much, man.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I don't have any feedbacks or anything, but I would just like to share my story. While you were mentioning about Mantra Yoga Lounge and the devotees who go out and reach to students and other people, I would like to give my example. I am student from UTA, and Shankaranya Prabhu and Ashwini Kumar Prabhu used to come preachers. This is for the devotees who go out, just to motivate them. Yes, students like me, there are students even with the book distribution. they have joined and come into Krishna consciousness. We have a devotee in Krishna house. Please continue doing this. It is very motivational, and but it takes time. It took me around a year, but yes, I am taking steps one by one, trying to surrender. But yes, I am very thankful to ISKCON. I got this opportunity to share my feelings. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for sharing that, and welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for nice class. You were mentioning about in the verses also about taking vanaprastha at the age of 50 and all those aspects. But you also brought out, and I would like to kind of underscore that one. We have in our movement examples right now of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu and his wife Mother Nirakula, and Kalakanta Prabhu and his wife Mother Ajita. And they are such exemplary grihastha devotees, always engaged in spreading, and so they're very nice examples for us grihasthas. And I think, like you mentioned, our partners, our spouses are our shelter. And if we feel like, okay, let's become, vanaprastha, I think it is more important that we experience genuine gratitude and compassion for our spouses and partners, and appreciation for them helping us traverse this path together, and being that mirror shining our own inefficiencies to us in a graceful way. So they become that shelter that help us progress. So I think even just as grihasthas, we can still do what Prabhupada wanted us to do. We have such wonderful examples in our movement, current state. So.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the nice class. And after what Tulsi was saying, I was thinking about, like Vaisheshik and Mother Nikula are very fine examples of vanaprastha. Because in this age there is no forest. Literally, especially in these countries. There may be in India, you can go to the forest, but here in India, there's not, in America, there's not a forest, and it would be not really helping our preaching if people started living in huts in the forest and doing meditation. People would think we're very crazy, but we do as we get older, we renounce more and more things, and that's the vanaprastha is the example of the renunciation and full engagement in the devotional service and service to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class. I had the same question as you were mentioning, like at 50 I won't be able to take vanaprastha. So one day I sent an email to my Guru Maharaj. If you're okay, I can read out his answer.
Sorry, I cannot hear very well.
So you mentioned, right, at the age of 50, you were not able to take vanaprastha. So I had the same concern a year or 2 years ago, and I sent an email to my Guru Maharaj.
Please.
So he responded to me, if you're okay, I can read out
please.
his email. So I mentioned to him, like, usually people at 50, it's said in scriptures that we need to take vanaprastha. But I told him, like, in olden days, of course, by the time parents are 50, kids are already well settled. So they are ready to take vanaprastha. So I told him, in my situation, my kids won't be settled. So what should I be doing? Because I won't be able to do what's said in scriptures. So his answer is, although the general rule is to enter vanaprastha ashram at the age of 50, in your case, you cannot do so because you have to wait until your children are mature enough to manage without you. But internally, you can be as renounced and focused on Krishna consciousness as a vanaprastha.
Yes. 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 Yeah. And that is why he established these dhams, Srila Prabhupada. I think one of the lectures or some conversation, he says, okay, what are you going to do in Vana or Vanaprastha? You're going to be like monkeys there? So we have to know, it is consciousness, whether we are in Vanaprastha or we are in City Prastha. The consciousness, I think, is the first thing that makes us Vanaprastha. And that is why so many sannyasis and brahmacharis are engaged in preaching so well, because their consciousness is so elevated that they are in Vanaprastha mood, but preaching and helping others to get out of this misery. Otherwise, the whole material world is just running on he-goat, she-goat business, literally, everywhere. Thank you very much.
Actually, it reminded me that cities are like concrete jungles. So in one sense, we're in the forest.
Yes.
I also want to thank Mataji for giving her sincere feedback about outreach. I have a small ad, if you all don't mind. So on December 6th, this Saturday, we're trying to do a big Harinam from 5 to 7. So we will be sending out details on all the WhatsApp groups. It will be in Dallas downtown. So please try to make yourself available. It will be like a monthly thing that we are trying to do. So we are trying to seek blessings of His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Srila Prabhupada, and all the gurus of our movement. So please kindly join 5 to 7 on Saturday, this Saturday, December 6th.
Thank you.
More
Wonderful
details to
Harinam.
follow.
So if there is no one has any other comment, good. Gokulanand Prabhu, would you like to say something?
My wife was just asking me as you were discussing about Vanaprastha, what is my understanding. I said the best example, living example is, I quoted her, Mother Krishna Priya's parents. So they may not be actually living in an ashram setup, but they're internally, as Mataji read just now, internally they are renounced. So yeah, I had a conversation with Mother Krishna Priya's father once, and I asked him, "You look so young, even at this age, and so energetic and blissful. What is the secret?" He said, "We stopped all the physical business long back." So that is internal renunciation. So yeah, we have many such examples, like Mother Tulsi Saki and other Mataji also quoted. So many living legends, right, we have around. And one more thing, I wanted to take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, because of his books I'm here. So I'm here because of you, Srila Prabhupada, because of your book, Bhagavad Gita. Today is Gita Jayanti, and it brought revolution in my life. The small books, I came in touch, but I didn't understand much. But it wasn't until one magnanimous devotee who took all the efforts to walk into my office with the book load, and I was waiting for Bhagavad Gita. So within 3 days and 3 nights, cover to cover, I read, and that created a revolution in my life. So I want to take this opportunity to express
And thank
my
you very
gratitude.
much for reminding that, Prabhu. All the listeners, if you're listening online, today is Gita Jayanti Day, and we have a wonderful program this afternoon in the temple. So please come and join, or join online. And if you do not have Bhagavad Gita, get one. If you have Bhagavad Gita, get another one to give to family members and neighbor. Get full box. Prabhu, are we doing box drive this time? But what about the box drive that we do Motel Gita program? Okay, so we'll have table here in temple, and you can just always get some Bhagavad Gita and distribute. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.